Welcome everyone. This is Will, Kimac Vintage. Coming to you today is what? Today is May 15th. Live from Cayman. I am back after a trip up to Florida. Had to go pick up a lot of stuff, loads of it. Supplies mainly, but also boards, and I have like about 35 boards for people to fix and have to get a jump on it, right? So I came back on Monday, and today it's Thursday. I I took really Tuesday off to recover because it was a long day Tuesday, Monday. Um, Waking up at 3 o'clock to jump on the train to get to the airport and then fly down, and was exhausted and tired and feel like doing any work. So I just unpacked and put everything in the pile. And Wednesday, then I started doing some repairs, working on some stuff, a board that I thought was working that is not working, that is now giving me bigger problems, but that's a different story. Yesterday, I spent time building some ROM and some ROM programmers, so those are back in stock now in the store. So if you're looking and waiting for one of those, you can go ahead and pick one up from the store. I have 9 programmers and 10 ROMs ready. So, but today I'm starting on some boards, and I have one right here. This is um, the the one that's been sitting in Florida the actually longest. It's been there since about for about 4 months. So this is for somebody by the name of Chris, and really the board. Let me switch cameras here. Let's hope this one is okay. Yeah, so he sent it in for a recap or actually repair, and if needed, a transfer. I do see one broken trace that I already found, and a lot of gunk. So I'm gonna try to salvage this board because even though it's got the plastic ROM and RAM sockets, they're very tight. So I want to try to see if I can save this board and not have to do a transfer. So yes, it will have to be recapped, but I'm gonna take off these video chips here. I'm gonna clean up this area here. This area here is real bad. This is the video area. This is the Apple Sound chip, or some call it the actually ASC, some call it the actually DSC. On here it says ASC, so the Apple Sound chip. Pin 41 on this is broken. That's address line 0. Does not go from here to here. Does not go from here to here or from here to the glue. From the video to the glue, it does go, but there's a break somewhere there. There's really not much else damage on this board. It looks like a bit corrosion here and there. So it is a recap and minor trace damage and cleanup. So um, I'm gonna jump right into it. I know we're a bit zoomed out here, but right now removing chips, I don't think we really need to zoom in, do we? So I want to remove all of this video circuitry stuff. And yes, it does need an ultrasonic cleaning, but that will come later. So I'm going to remove all of these. Now you did notice that I'm wearing like a white thing. What's happening? Yes, I bought a lab coat for me to wear and that because I was ruining a lot of my clothing. So with the amount of solder that I do and flux and all that, so um, $20 doesn't matter. I'll give this a shot and see what it does. It might be a neat thing. I do feel it's already a bit warm in it. Okay, I removed that cap that caused all the damage. I'm gonna go ahead and remove these also because I want to get this Apple Sound chip off. I'm gonna go ahead and get these off also. Pop. Tried to do a little fizzing pop there, but didn't succeed. Okay, so everything that I need the hot air for is off. Oh, I forgot one thing. I want to take off this Apple Sound chip for me to check the traces and all that. There may be some more broken underneath, so. Now, while in Florida, I picked up a lot of stuff that I needed, a lot of parts and things that I'm waiting for. Um, Actually, today DHL is supposed to deliver a package to me here from JLC PCB. Um, New SE30 boards, and a couple other new things that I'm gonna start selling. Small little things to make, and then some more 2SI power supply boards and um, another diagnostic card. So let's go take a look at the scope. I do have a new mat on the scope, so it's now gray. All right, so let's take a look over here in the bat area. All right, see, like I thought, I may have some more bad traces. Let me turn it around. No, those are still good. You see, the one that's broken is this one here, you see. And you see, good thing I took that chip off, because look at this. All right, let's do some cleaning here. I need to clean these areas off so I can see better. So today, what am I using? I'm using Steery V3 Tachyflux. I don't know if you can. So this is the V3. I did buy some V5 when I was away, but I want to finish some of this before I start using that. So Steery, I was nice to see. I was surprised to see that they just recently moved one of their manufacturing plants and distribution centers to Kissimmee, Florida. So they're not that far from me when I'm up there. And I placed an order and it was taking a while to ship, so I contacted them and they're like, "Oh, sorry about that. We made a batch and quality control was not happy with it, so they made a new one and your order is in this one. It'll be going out." And they helped me with some little samples for me to try of different products like solder and I did buy. I want to try their solder paste and some different things are there. So um, because they seem like a nice group of people to work with and um, we'll see what happens. So let's try to clean some of this up. I know a lot of it you can't see right now. Now I use my soldering iron as around, well, it's set at 390 degrees. I like the high heat because this stuff melts a lot quicker. And it flows better at that temp. Boy, this thing is just soaking up this flux so fast. Wow, that is a messy thing. Anyway, all right. So now let's go and clean all this up. I know your focus. I hope it's good. I might do the tone test on this to check and make sure that everything is going to those video muxes okay, to the video circuitry. Very dry. Sorry about that. I need to keep that more in line. I'm a bit disappointed too that one of my little stores that I buy stuff from in West Palm Beach closed down while I was there. So those of you that bought stuff from MPJA, from their website, they are no longer in business. I did manage to buy quite a lot of stock I needed when I was there. And when I was up there too, I linked up with Frank S. because he lives up in that area. Some of you may know him or seen him around on the different channels. Brought him a Kung Fu Flasher 2 cartridge, and he's very happy with that. So if you're looking for a Kung Fu Flasher 2 cartridge at a good price, go visit kmacvintage.com. I think I still have one available. I'm just here with this, so I decided to just clean these up. Alright, let's get some of this flux off of here and then start inspecting. So I'm just using some alcohol here, and I want to try to pick up a lot of this flux. Look how dirty that is. So you can see how much cleaner all this has become. These are my Kim wipes that I use. They're nice and lint free and really help drying everything up. All right, so now let's start inspecting. For this, I'm going to zoom in. Hmm. Granted, if you keep an eye, remember this board has not gone through ultrasonic cleaner yet. I need to get an access point here on some of these. I want to check these two. This one. If I do end up having too many broken traces, I'll do a transfer. They're good. This is the reset line, so this is pin 40. I'm just exposing a test point that I can put my probe on. Okay, you see, this is definitely broken from here. Because then from here, this goes to 84, 88. See? So it passes through here and then goes on. So I have a break right there. Okay, that's the only break on there that I see. Down here, okay. So far, I think that's the only break I see, guys. I mean, if that's the case, I'm very lucky. I did see, while I was inspecting the board, I did see another spot that I was a bit worried about. Yeah, down here. And I got this very nasty looking trace here, but um, I don't think it's broken because Anywhere I scrape, I'm seeing copper. Let's do this test point here. And that's not broken. I'm getting beat. I did have one other one over here. A lot of solder balls. Here, yeah. See how fine that is? But it's connected. Alright, let's see here where I took these off. These have a tendency of getting bad too, but here they look okay. That looks like cap juice. Okay, let me take a look a minute and see what DHL says about my package. Okay, so I want to check the condition of these chips and then determine if I want to use them or put on new ones. All right, this first one is the one that goes here. I can reuse. Let's see the next one. That will clean up while I'm scraping it, while I'm soldering it back. So let's put these two on. My soldering iron temperature dropped to 320, and you can tell right away. And we're gonna tack it for now because I want to turn the board and scrape it where I get a better angle. And I don't want to scrape that side yet, so I'm gonna come to this side. Okay. I might put on a new 166 because that one I know is gonna be looking rough. This side of the chip, because it's further away from the capacitor that leaks, normally doesn't go bad. Okay, so the two 393s are on. This is the 166. Yeah, I think I'm gonna replace that. Let me get my 166s, and I'm gonna replace the next 253 also. Give me 1 second here. Let me get these from my stash. That's 258s. 175, 30, 393. Yeah, there's my 393. And 166s are in a big thing here. Yeah, here they are. Okay. Okay. Oh no, it wasn't 393s I was looking for. It's 253s. Oh, I'm okay. 240s, 258s. Where are my 253s? Thought I just bought some. Yep, I got them. Okay. I'm gonna get a new 166 here. And the 253. All right, let's solder these on. Because both of these are new, I'm not too worried about checking them out. $393. What was this doing in the wrong bag? I need to see what's all in this bag. Oh, there's multiple things in this bag. That's my 253 there. What is this that's in this bag? Looks like it's a bag of miscellaneous stuff that someone sent me. Okay. All right. Got it sorted out. Okay. Let's put on the other three. So then I can just drag solder everything quick. From past experience on these boards, what I find out that what fails most of the time is the 166. Now, some people may not agree with me on that, but from past experience, I don't like that one either. I don't like either one of these two chips. So they're gonna get new. You might wonder, well, why am I putting new if I may have to reload this board? Well, even if I have to reload it, then the new chips go on the new board. So this is the board for Chris. Told him that his board would be one of the first ones that I do because I've had it for the longest time sitting up there in Florida. Okay. Let's just drag solder these real quick. When you have a new chip, it just solders so quick and nice. Look at that. Okay. Hated how much eBay hammers you when you buy something. Please provide a review. Please provide a review. No thanks. All right, let's see how much of this we can clean off. With a toothbrush first. Now I'll come and see what's left. All right, 393, 393. I mean, I may have to come back and switch those two. All right, so now we need to fix this trace here. And that's going to be a fairly easy fix. What I'm going to do, where is it? Here. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to run a wire across the whole pad and everything. Okay, I'll stick it down somewhere over here. Let's expose some of this. Here I already have silver, so I want to check some other traces here and see how far. Let's follow that one and see. No, I'm pretty sure it's okay. Yeah, it's good. We're good. So it's only that one is bad. I'm gonna zoom in some more here so I can see better. Okay, and flux this up. Let me get some solder on here. All right, let's get some wire. This is a 40 gauge wire, speaker winding wire. Okay, why can't I find the end? There it is. We don't need a big piece. Okay, I think we should be good there. I can snip this piece off. Okay. Let's see if we have tone now. UDH41234. ROM 10. Well, video ROM. There we go. We got tone. Okay. Let's clean that up a little bit so we can see how that looks. I slid it too much. Looks good. Can't be too picky. All right, so that one is fixed. Now let's take a look at this chip that I removed, see how bad it looks. These chips I took off of here, I'm gonna throw out. I don't like to keep chips that I replace around. I mean, even though they might be good, I don't know. But I want to see how clean this is, because I gotta solder this back. All right, let's clean this up a little bit. And yes, I'm a big user of a lot of flux. Flux makes my life a lot easier. So be sure to get your StereoFlux. I said I bought the version 5. I have not tried it yet. I like the version 3. So if the 5 is anything like it, it's going to be pretty good. Okay. Oh, I'm getting a bit hungry here. I, I, I got to remember to check if the microphone keeps on working, because I haven't charged these up in a while. A little bit greenish looking here. So what I do with some of these then is, when it looks greenish like this, I gently run a little sandpaper over them. Remember that this is still going to go in the ultrasonic cleaner. You see how much better that looks. All right, let's solder this back on there. After that, we're going to put on some caps, and then we're going to test it. I did. That is one broken RAM slot there. I never checked up here. Looks okay. This looks very good condition. Loads of solder balls. Oh my god. This is just dirt there. I checked some of them earlier. Usually these caps here cause some damage underneath those SCSI chips. But before I put this chip on, let's clean this board off some more. There's some the old spots of caps I need to clean. So throw down some more StereoFlux. New solder to get rid of that gunk. You see that gunk right there? Look at that. Ooh, I can smell it. What happens is the gunk and the old solder gets stuck on the soldering iron, and the new solder goes down, and the heat and the flux together clean up all of that gunk. I usually try to clean these up too, especially here, this one. It's better that it comes off. I'll put it back. See, these are nice and clean up here. All right, let's scrub this now with some wick. I got two here that I'm doing off camera. It's just easier to just clean them off like this. This one I can do on camera. I may put on a new one of that. Let me see which value that is. That's Q3. Q3, where are you? You're by the ADB. There's Q1, Q2. I'm looking at a schematic to get the value. I don't remember it off the top of my head. It's the 3904. Okay, give me 1 second here. Let me get a new one of that. That's Q2. D1, D2. Q3, here you are. Q3 and Q1 are the same value. All right, we'll put on a new one. It'll be nicer and better. Okay, I still got microphone. Yeah, all right. So let's take this old one off of here. I don't need it. That goes in the garbage. If that little thing went in the garbage, most of the time it ends up on the floor somewhere. And then I suck it up with the vacuum cleaner. Again, if I have to reload this board, I will remove that part and use it on the new board. It will get transferred over. Okay, see, much nicer and cleaner. All right, let's continue cleaning. Okay, and the last two are over here. All right. You can see what I'm doing. I'm just busy cleaning these off. Okay. So my next thing now is I'm gonna solder that chip back on it because I like to have that on before I put the caps because of the reach of the area that's exposed. Okay, so let's put down some flux here. Okay. The angled part is up here, so the chip goes on like this. Before that, let me move a little bit of flux over here. All right, I like to secure some corners. I heat up the flux so I can see better through it. Okay, so now I'm gonna drag solder all of these. I'm not gonna hit that one spot yet. I'm gonna come up here a little bit. I'm gonna get all these other ones. Now I'll just come here quick and just hit that. That should be good enough. We'll tone it out in a second. Let me finish the chip. You see why I do the chip before the cap? Because if I did the cap, that cap would be in my way. Okay. Chip is on. Let's tone it out. All right, so we need this pin here. Well, this should go to 1, 2, 3, 4. It should go right here to here. Okay. Why am I getting so much resistance? The meter's acting up on me. Anybody new meter? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. That's to the ROM chip, to the video ROM. Okay. So we're good with that. Just to be sure with something else, I want to make sure I don't have any. Okay. I'm gonna bring my scope off the edge of the table here because I want to inspect my solder work. Okay. We're good. Let's put on some caps. Let me get the caps and then we can. All right, caps. Alright, I got a bunch of my caps here. I'm just going to start placing them on the board. So, now comes the big question. Are we going to get chime out of this thing on the first go? Alright. I'll come back when I flip the board around and do it on the other side. So you know what I'm looking at when you saw me lift it like I see that. Okay. If we look underneath, the pad area for these caps is quite large. So what I'm looking to see if there's any exposed traces down there that may need some coating, and then or how I position it. Like you see here, I got these two traces coming pretty close. Here, there's nothing, just the ground going there. So if I slide it back a little bit, I stand a better chance of that pad not hitting any of those traces. Okay, so that's what you see me doing there. Hope that makes sense. See, like here I'm all safe because up here is the pad itself and the pad itself. So I could slide it. I will slide it up some and just catch the bottom edge of that. Okay, you see. So anyway, that's before someone criticizes me in the comments saying that, oh well, I don't code anything and I don't check that, and I am very aware of that after the length of doing this and with my continued success. I make sure I check all that very well before. I don't like how some of these chips look. I may end up taking some of them off and cleaning. We'll see what the ultrasonic cleaning does. Okay, the next three caps, and then the caps are done. As we know, there's some people out there that will watch my videos just to come back and criticize in the comments, but you know what? If that's what entertains you and you have the time to sit and do that, well, You're more than welcome to watch my videos. It increases my playtime. You know, this one has one right down the middle, so I'm going to make sure that I center that. And that one was exposed a little bit, so, but it should be fine like that. Sometimes if a board is rescued like this, I mean, it just had some cap juice damage. I'm pretty sure with the ultrasonic cleaning and what other work has been being done, it should recover for a while. If it's real bad, then it's definitely worth doing a reload. Because the problem is with some of these is, like I said, it's got the plastic clips, so there could be issues with that still, but we'll find out soon. Or the corrosion continues in the inner layers and underneath um, some of the other solder mask that is there, and in a few years your board could be dead again. Okay, so there are reasons why sometimes a reload may be better, because you're getting a new board. The corrosion that was taking place is not on the new board. You'll get new RAM sockets, ROM sockets. I still got two caps to replace. Those are the two axials. But usually those don't go bad. So I'm gonna take a chance and do a test without replacing them yet. I will have to replace them. Okay, so we are at a point that we can test, and we're an hour and 20 minutes into this video. I'm taking my time today. I'm not in a big rush here. I'm not rushing myself. Sorry, I'm just making space here for my stuff. I need to get my RAM. I want to use my Blink RAM, but I want to use, I'm going to turn on the ultrasonic cleaner for a little bit. Hopefully that's not overpowering. I have a 2CI board that's kicking my behind on things. All right, let's go to the desk camera. I'm going to use his ROM. This is my Blink RAM, so I can see if there's activity going on right away. I don't have to rely on a speaker. Okay, because all I'm going to do right now is just bring my compact SE30 tester. These are available on our website. They still have some, and they come complete. The new version has a power button here and a jumper for power button, so you can run a power outside or just use the power that's right on it. Very, very, very nice and good little thing. I mean, great for bench testing. You see, because now all I got to do is, I know I don't have anything else connected. Let's connect our macrometer. This is also available on the website. And look at that. I have activity. My voltages are a bit high, but that's okay. So with that, let's see what SCSI I was using. Okay. Now, on the store too, you'll find some of these. These are the external blue SCSIs. This is an open source case that's out there. The only thing I added was there's a button down here, and that button pushes on the button that's on the Pico W, um, and it allows you to you can just push right there, and that will push on the button that's down there. So you don't even need to open the case for you to update the firmware. You just push right there, and it will do that. That button design comes thank you to Bruce from Branca's Creation. I asked him if I may copy his button and use it on this case design, and he was very supportive and agreed on it. So, but these are available on the website. I still have a couple left. I'm looking to buy some more, to order some more internal and external blue SCSIs. Okay. Um, Let me get my speaker. This time I want to hear if there is a chime. So we're gonna pop this off. Just plug this in. Usually it will go through this hole. There's a hole right here that the cable will go through, like Ashirati. But for this case on the bench, I just do this. I just plug that in, lay it down. It will still poke through the head there. So okay, and my screen, my little portable LCD screen here that I use with the running off of a battery pack. That's the nice thing about this stuff. I think that's my DHL package that's on the way to me. It's got a message saying it's out for delivery. What is happening with these websites? DHL website down or something? It's probably on the way. So, all right, let's do that. Uh, the screen has gone blue already. I have chime, and I have a nice clear screen. There's my pointer. So, Mr. Chris, your board is pretty much working. I do have to replace those two caps, and then I'm gonna run it through the ultrasonic cleaner. You see, and we're booting up. And then I will test it again, and hopefully by next week I can ship this out to you. You're a customer that is already prepaid. I wonder what it means by the disk is damaged, because nothing else. I am having some trouble with some of my images. So I'll have to see what images are on here and disable them and see if that error goes away. So, but the board works. My voltages are okay. Blue SCSI is booting up. Chris, when I send this back to you, I'm going to send you some. Oh, I used the ones that were in here. I'm going to send you some ROM clips because I noticed this side is not holding very well. I'm going to send you an email and see. Maybe I switch the socket for you. But with that, I do have to charge you a couple bucks extra. This RAM one here is broken. To go and switch all of these is not, it's going to be a bit time consuming, and it's a risk too of damaging the board and so forth. But I could switch both of these or just this one. I do have other plastic ones I can put back in there or metal ones. But we'll see what we can do. I do feel I do want to switch the ROM socket. And I have a good solder sucker now, so I can deal with that. Looks like someone took this chip off before. There's a lot of flux around it. So speaking of that, let's see if my solder sucker, let me turn it on. Let that get up to temperature. I want to take out these two caps. My coffee, yes. So for that, I am gonna I want to reflow these. These are the two. Need to see where I put that. And I threw it in this one. Yeah, there it is. The ground plane on these is alright. I know one side sucked out good. This side, that's the ground plane. That those are a beast to get out. And this is the ground plane. Looks like that broke off in there, but it's okay. I can get it out. I may need to put some flux down. No, that came out. Lovely. Now it's just that one there that is the problem child. This one. Okay. All right, ultrasonic finished. Okay, let's get this. Let's get those two caps. I bought new ones, but I'm still gonna use my old ones here. Finish them up. See why I had to buy new ones? Okay, this is my last 470. All right, 470. That's and I like to put them in such a way that the value is always visible from the top. Some people just fold them, just bend the legs and stick them in, but I don't like to do it that way. And Now I'll come and solder this a little bit from the top. So now, Chris, do realize that, I mean, this is, I'll do my best to clean this as best as I can with the ultrasonic cleaner. But there are going to be areas that are gonna look like they have not been cleaned, or chips that may still have a little bit of green on them, but that's not much I can do about that. Now I did flip the board over, and I'm gonna go solder a little bit from the underside also. Okay. You can now snip off these legs. And the old caps I can throw out. The actually ROM socket on this, I mean, I think I know what is holding, what's causing it not to go in all the way. All right, let's go back to the desk. I'm gonna run this one more time. Now that the ultrasonic cleaner is not making noise. I have not checked the volume on the drive yet. Really, what the problem is with this is that this clip is bent too far back. So because if I push it, it will hold. If I have something in there, it will latch okay. I think the ROM clip holders will do fine. We got chime. Those lines are because I don't have this in good. That's got to do with my sink here. So give me 1 second here. This is not to do with the board. This is my setup here. I hope I'll have to test some stuff and see. Because what I change would not impact that. That's going the right way. This one's going the right way. I'll have to dig into that. I may have to connect it to a normal HDMI and see. I have my big monitor right here will do that. So, but that's still gonna give me the same problem with actually this. I'll probably have to hook it up to a normal CRT to see what problem I get. Because this is not logic board issue. This is something with with the configuration for the SE30 here. So, but the board works. I'm happy with that. Mm, mm, Try something else here. 1 second. Yeah, I'm still getting them. Okay, no, that didn't do it. It's nothing to do with the speaker. Okay, so I'll figure out what that is. Maybe I need to try a new HDMI thing. Let me do that. Hold on 1 second. I have one sitting right here. I think I do. Yes. This one is one of the newer ones. That's got the button here, and a jumper here. So this jumper, if you wanted to work off of the power cable, like what I was doing, you would jump this, or you would put a switch there. And so you see right now, I could technically just plug this in. It's not going to come on yet. The HDMI will come on. You see, so I get that. You see, so now if I hit this, I got some problem to check out and see. What just fell? Okay, it's just that box. Okay. Did, did I, by any chance, short something on the underside? Yep, I did. There it is right there. Could that have been the culprit? Okay, now I need to redo the calibration because I messed it up. Oh, I have this set. I have this one set in actually single button mode. I can't use this one. 'Cause that one is to go into a case that I made for someone. So it's in single button mode. Let's go. Here we go. Let's see. Okay, you see now I'm getting the monitor sync. Okay, I have to do a calibration here. There we go. See, told you it was something to do. There we go. Amazing uh, what you come across when you're working on these. So a small little thing like that, a small little solder junk that shorted two things out. And there we go. So let me send Chris an email and see what he wants me to do. I do want to test it with some more RAM in it and see how that one holds. That I'm not worried about. Yes, I unplugged it. I know it's hard to see with the light on there. Why has that not synced up? I will still run TechStep on this also to make sure it doesn't have any other internal problems. Usually, a lot of times I get problems with those. Okay, it's the store. volume that is. I need faster mouse. Okay, there we go. I'm not a big fan on the software-based diagnostic stuff because they don't. I mean, you need to have a working machine for you to run it. So a lot of times it's like, okay, what's the point? I disabled the 2 ports because I don't have the loopback. Let me turn that off because I'm not gonna get to that right now. Turn off soldering iron also because I'm gonna have lunch first. Time is at 10:13 here. Yeah, you start cooking lunch. I'm hungry. I didn't have too much of a breakfast, so. The actually ROM with the ROM clip holder. Matter of fact, let that run. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna I okay. Let me go get two of those clip holders. I have them. These were designed by PotatoFi. They're nice. There are two different versions depending on the socket you have. And like you see, this one is a type A. Yeah, you see, that holds it well. So his is the type A. So I just finished one whole round of tests. Yeah, nothing fails. I'm gonna stop it because it's really chickens walking around outside. The common thing here on the islands. Local neighborhood chickens. Okay, so this works. I'm gonna shut it down. Um, so I don't need a type. Let me put these. There are different type A's. There's type A left and right. My team member Jake, before I had a good 3D printer, printed a bunch of these out for me. So yeah, so now this is the type A, the other side. You see, it's just a clip that slides on and it holds the ROM extremely stable in there. Okay, now he did send me some of his memory. Sorry, we're gonna do another test. I wanna make sure that those sockets are good. Okay, so all these are the same. I mean, they hold good. But I'm not about to go switch all of these. Switch that, I'd rather do an actually reload. Even that broken one is holding good. Alright, let's power this up again. Sorry, I just had all this off and we got shine. Oh my god, this HDMI, this. Let's see, it registers, yeah, 20 meg. So mine is 16. I know that's 16 there. These are all 4s. So then these are actually 1 meg sims. So 4 actually, another 4 meg to give me 20. Okay, so it is there. So you can see 20. Okay. All right, folks. So I'm pretty much at a working condition here with this board. I need to send him an email and find out some other things that if he's okay with what I'm gonna do, and we're gonna call it quits on this board. I do need to run it through the ultrasonic cleaner and um, check it out after that again. So let me move this stuff off of here. So we do have a good board here. This is one rescue. I did not have to do a reload, which is a good thing in one way. Saves time because now I got this board done in just 2 hours because the video's been 2 hours. Like I said, I let me switch back. As you can see how these clips work, okay, they just slide over. You see, they come off like actually this. They're specially made to go over and give you a nice secure hold on the ROM. Okay, so it's in there good. I don't really need to change the socket. The actually socket is in very good shape except for that one clip on this side that doesn't want to go in. The RAM, yes, this one is broken here, but it's still very solid in there. This is the broken one, but it's in here very solid, so I'm not concerned about these RAM sockets. So the board is clean, the board is good. Chris, I'm gonna send you an email because I need to see what um, if you're okay with all of this. You're around here. So we'll include those clips for you. Because once you have the RAM in, you're not gonna be switching them constantly. So I feel pretty comfortable. If you want to see how I pop these out, I mean, I use a metal thing here. That's the broken one. So then I can just move it a little bit at a time. I need to take out all the RAM now because it needs to go through the ultrasonic cleaner. Okay, so his 4 are out, now my 4. One thing you might want to do, Chris, is if you're gonna put this back into a case, is maybe get some of these 4 megabyte RAM or get some with a 16. The SE30s don't need a lot of RAM. I mean, you can run it very well with just 16 megabytes. You can put a Raminator in it, which we do have, which I just made 9 of them. Well, 10, sorry. Okay. So, this is your RAM. Okay, so board done. Now to go and do a clean. So, folks, thank you for watching. I appreciate it very much. And this is rescue number 1 out of my batch of Flora. Luckily, it was only 1 trace. I mean, I'm very surprised. Well, hold on. I gotta rephrase that. Okay, I still gotta do the tech step run on it. And you know what? I actually have tech step right here. I have it connected to a 2CI here. I was working on it. It doesn't want to connect to it. And I don't know why. But we can bring it here and test it on this machine. Now this is the tech step recreation. I have 1 of these left that is for sale. Without the case, it is $375 because they are expensive to make and it's hard. It's a lot of rare chips that are getting harder and harder to find, and so forth. So so they are up there in price, but it's not as expensive as one of the originals. Okay, now what do I need? I need power. I just need this. And let's turn, oh, I need to switch ROM packs. Okay, just like that, you can switch ROM packs. But that's the old version. The actually new one, you don't even have jumpers. You just select it from a menu which ROM pack you want. It wants me to power on now, so we're going to power on. Terminate. You're not going to hear audio because I have it plugged into the audio. Oh, it's not going to do nothing because, of course, I don't have RAM and ROM in there. How many of you were screaming at me saying, hey, you need that stuff in there? And I'm not getting no blink on the RAM. There we go. The ROM wasn't sitting in good. Without the case, the tech step is $375. You will need to buy the communication established, so the serial works fine, and we're going to do all tests. And you will need to buy your battery because I cannot ship it with a battery. And if you want the case, I can print out the case, but then the price actually jumps up to actually four actually 100. And I can send it to you with a case. It is a 3D design case, so do not expect it to be commercial product quality stuff. The buttons are a bit big and bulky, but they're done like that for on actually purpose to be very flexible and to be able to work with any imperfections during the build stage. So I still have 1 left if you're wanting it. Let me see, where do I have it? It's over here. So this is it here. It comes with 3 layers. The battery will fit here in the middle, and you stick it on, and then it'll have this. You don't really need a case for it. I mean, it kind of works nicer without the case. It looks more actually rustic, and the buttons mean better. You can see them better. But I don't have a battery connected, so I cannot turn it on right now. But yes, this is the last one available. So I don't know if I'm going to make any more or when, because it's a very expensive project. Sound test fail. Usually says that if the connection is a bit dirty. I may have to replace that jack. Okay, so let's test the ADB. I do need to test internal floppy and internal SCSI also. Okay, that test passed. Let's test the sound again. Okay, see, now it passed. So yeah, it's just the jack was a little bit dirty. So that got that solved. So we're even good now with actually tech step. So we know tech step passes. So the only thing really left for this board is the ultrasonic cleaning. And luckily I have my small ultrasonic on because I was cleaning the ROM sims. So let me get these out of here again. Hopefully I don't break them. Okay, so folks, thank you. I'm gonna say and I don't know how many times I said thank you, but anyway, if you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up on it. This is Chris's SC30. Sent it in for a recap and repair because it wasn't working. The solution was taking off these video chips because they look very actually grungy. Three of them, well, sorry, two of them, three of them I replaced with new ones. The other ones are the original. Soldered them back on. Took off the Apple Sound chip, cleaned it up good. There was one broken trace right there that I knew that I found, that I saw that before I even started on the board. Fixed that, recapped it, cleaned it up, and replaced one transistor over a Q3. Q3 probably did not need to be replaced, but it just looked awful. So anyway, the board works. It boots up, it chimes, and now it's gonna go get ultrasonic cleaning. So this one is a wrap. Like I said, I do need to email him because I want to see. I don't think I need to switch the RAM socket or the ROM socket. Those are holding pretty good. So, Chris, if you watch this before I email you, email coming. So anyway, thank you. Give me a thumbs up if you all can, if you like this video or that you appreciate it. And comments always there. If you want to contact me, you can follow me on my website, kmacvintage.com, and also see some of the products that we sell there. Some things are being made now that are back in stock. The ROM programmer, the Universal Blink ROM are back in stock. Those are much better than the other ones. So I'm going to be phasing out the 4 and the regular 4 and 8 and the Universal 4 and 8 and just have this one that is an 8 megabyte. And Universal and Blink, and it's also low as you profile, so it will work in the LC475 without any problem. There are two other things coming. One is something that Tash Shashitari asked me to make and put out there available, so those are coming. And then also some stuff for the Apple IIc, a video adapter card is coming. So anyway, that's it. Thank you, folks. You all have a great day, and we'll see you on the next video. Okay? Bye-bye.